Welcome, Doodlers! Today we are going to take a sketchnoting and doodling journey. We will bring ideas to life using what is known in the sketchnoting world as the visual alphabet. The visual alphabet helps build drawing and doodling capacity as it breaks down creations into a series of easy-to-draw icons. Essentially, when using the visual alphabet as your drawing guide, you can create simple icons with individual elements or more complex creations by combining elements together. So, grab a piece of paper, pencil, crayons, colored pencils, or even markers. Find a comfortable place to sit and get ready to get creative. Let's start by closing your eyes and taking 3 deep breaths. Inhale through your nose and blow out your mouth. Inhale through your nose and blow out your mouth. One last time. Inhale through your nose and blow out your mouth. Now, keep your eyes closed and listen for a moment as we set the scene for our sketch note. Imagine yourself standing in a forest amidst large towering trees, sunlight peeking through the branches and landing on the forest floor. Listen to the rustling leaves and chirping birds. Feel the soft earth beneath your feet and smell the fresh, earthy scent of the woods. Now, open your eyes. Let your prior knowledge, imagination, and senses guide you as you begin your sketch note. We will start by drawing a large, loopy line in the center of your paper. Imagine this as a winding path leading deeper into the forest. Let's move forward into building the forest floor. Look around your forest path. What kind of ground covers the forest floor? Do you see leaf litter, moss, or maybe small leafy plants? To draw leaf litter, use a series of small, squiggly lines with pointy ends to create a layer of fallen leaves carpeting the ground on either side of your path. To draw moss, draw bumpy ovals with short, wavy lines on top to represent patches of soft moss growing on rocks and fallen logs. To draw small leafy plants, draw 3 connected eyes to represent the leaves and use a loop or a line as the stem. Now that we have created a forest floor, it is time to create the large trees sprouting from the earth and towering from above. Remember, we're using the visual alphabet for our guiding doodles for this adventure, but if your creativity takes you elsewhere, follow that path. Sketchnoting is a personal process and no 2 sketchnotes should look alike. Feel free to use the visual alphabet as your structure for drawing, and then fill in with your own lines, curves, and other elements. Let's create our trees starting with tree trunks. Draw several tall rectangles for the trunks, extending upwards from the edges of your path. Now let's add some branches. Add short, loopy lines branching off from the top of the rectangles for the main branches. Or you may choose to draw straight lines for the branches. Let's add some leaves to our branches. Decorate the branches with tiny circles for leaves. Imagine using oval shapes for round leaves and eye shapes for pointier leaves. Finally, let's add some logs on the ground. Draw a rectangle and add ovals on each end to add dimension to your log. Now that we have some trees, let's not forget that forests are full of interesting textures. Let's add some detail to bring your scene to life. In sketchnoting, it is about the ideas, not the art. Not everyone may be an artist, but everyone can definitely be a doodler. Adding details to your doodles later is a great way to amplify the work you have created. Think about the trees you just created, and now add some detail work. Add some rough bark. Use short, jagged lines all over the rectangles to create the rough texture of the tree bark. How about adding some twigs and vines? Add even shorter, thinner lines branching off from the main branches, representing small twigs and climbing vines. A sketchnote fundamental is using connectors to connect ideas together as part of a whole. Our nature connectors will be in the form of some forest friends. Now, it wouldn't be a forest without some creatures making an appearance. Draw an animal you might see in a forest using simple shapes. What is it you imagine in your forest? A squirrel? A deer? A rabbit? Or maybe even a bird? To draw a squirrel, use 2 small ovals for the body and head, connected by a short line. Add 4 short lines for legs, and a bushy tail with a loopy line and small triangles. Don't forget 2 tiny circles for eyes. If you see a deer, use a large oval for the body and smaller oval for the head, connected by a short line. Add 4 skinny rectangles for legs, and a bushy tail with a loopy line and small triangles. Don't forget 2 large circles for eyes and small curved lines for antlers. If you see a rabbit, use a large oval for the body and a smaller oval on top for the head, connected by a short line. Add 4 short lines for legs, 2 in front and 2 in the back. Draw 2 long floppy ears with pointy ends using eye shapes. Don't forget the tiny circles for eyes and a small circle for a nose. And lastly, if you see a bird, use a small oval for the body and a slightly larger oval for the head, connected by a short line. Add 2 short lines for legs perched on a branch, another small rectangle. Draw a triangle for the beak and 2 tiny circles for eyes. Don't forget a long curved line with an eye shape at the end for the tail. Add 2 smaller curved lines on either side of the body for wings. Another sketchnote fundamental is that of adding shading to create dimension in your drawings. As you take a moment to pause and look at your incredible forest scene, look for areas that with a little bit of shading or color could add dimension to what you already have on your page. Let's add some finishing details by using colored pencils, crayons, or markers to make parts of your sketchnote pop. To add shading, with a pencil or gray writing utensil, add some shading around the bottom or sides of something in your sketchnote. Think about how the sun might be hitting the object that you are adding shading to, and add the shading to the opposite side. Color in the trees. Use shades of brown for the tree trunks and a variety of greens for the leaves. For the forest floor, add a light brown for the bare ground peeking through the leaves and moss. And finally, for your background, fill the space above the trees with a light blue for the sky, adding a few wavy white lines for fluffy clouds. Yet another sketchnote fundamental is to have a title that captures your artwork. Let the creativity that flowed in your drawing shine through in your title that you pick for your sketchnote. Your title can stand out on its own or be contained within a header frame. Part of the fun of sketchnoting is choosing different lettering techniques, so feel free to have fun with lettering your text. Our topic for this sketchnote will be Michigan Forest Facts. Now to add some text and details to your sketchnote about nature. Our topic for the sketchnote will be forests in Michigan. Pick a couple of the provided facts to add some meaning to your sketchnote. Number 1. There are 14 billion trees in Michigan, covering about 53% of the state. Number 2. As of 2024, Michigan contains 20,167,228 acres of forest land. Number 3. The largest tree in Michigan is a black willow. The tallest is a 179-foot red maple. Number 4. Michigan forests can be sorted in 5 general kinds of forests. Upland hardwoods, which constitutes 57% of Michigan forests. Upland conifers, which constitute 13%. Swamp conifers, which constitute 9%. Swamp hardwoods, which constitute 9%. And aspen, which constitutes 12%. Number 5. The Huron-Manistee National Forest is the largest forest in Michigan. Number 6. Michigan's forests support over 100,000 jobs in a $20 billion economy. Number 7. Michigan timberland acreage is the 7th largest in the United States. Number 8. In 1903, the Forestry Commission established the first state forest in Crawford and Roscommon counties. Number 9. No matter where you live in Michigan, you're not more than a half-hour drive from a forest. You have now completed your guided doodle sketchnote. Take a step back and admire your forest creation. Notice all the textures, colors, animals, and facts you brought to life not only through your imagination, but also your personal experiences with nature. Your final step is to share it with a friend, family member, or even online, and tell them about your guided doodle sketchnote journey. Remember, sketchnoting and doodling is a joyful exploration. Don't be afraid to experiment and have fun creating your own unique forest world, one simple shape at a time.